Okay, now this is the first part of the video, and here we can see we have quite a few clock faces, and underneath we have a few digital times as well. All I want to do, just to warm you up and get your brains thinking just on this, is to try and work with me and decide where each digital time should go. Under which clock face should that one fit? So I'm going to do the first one with you. So here we go. I'm going to say, right, let's have a look at this time here. I can see the hour hand has just gone past the 7. And here the minute hand is firmly pointing towards the half past indicator, 30 minutes. So I'm looking at 7:30 or 30 minutes past 7. And quite comfortably, that one is straight there underneath. So I'm going to pick that up and move it there. So let's have a look at our next one. Now this is where you may need to have a little participation, and all I want you to do is just point to the screen, nothing more, just to see if you've got that one correct or not. And then just let me know with a little comment if you did get them all correct or not. That's all I require on that. So let's have a look at this one. I want you to first of all have a look at the time here. Okay, what do you think the time is? Once you've worked that out, then I want you to see if there's any matching ones underneath in the digitals. So I reckon hit pause now, have a look at that clock face, then see if there's any matching ones with what you think it is. Off you go, hit pause. Okay, so having had a look at this one, what you should have worked out is the hour hand has just gone past the 8. We've got that long minute hand pointing towards the 6. That's the halfway mark again, just like the previous one. So we have got just gone 8, so it's 30, 8:30. And here we have a time for that. So I'm going to move that one over, and you should have been pointing to just here. That leaves us 3 times left. Let's have a look at this one here. What time is that clock face saying? I want you to have a think, work it out, then try and spot it underneath in the digital times. And all I simply want you to do is to point to the screen and show where that correct time should go. Press pause whilst you do that. Okay, now having had a look at this, it should be 1 o'clock, which quite fortunately is right underneath. There is our 1, we pop it there. Fantastic, all good. So then we have 2 times left. So on this occasion, I want you to work out what each clock face says. Which one is which? What does that say? And what does that say? Soon as you've worked that out, you'll be able to work out which digital time should go underneath which clock face. And you'll be able to point that out or verbalize that however you want. So have a pause, work it out. If you've got someone near you working with you, let them know what you think it is. If not, just talk to me as if I was there, and we'll go from there. Press pause. Okay, looking at this one, we've got the hour hand pointing to the 11, the minute hand pointing to the 12. So really, you should have been saying that 11 should go there. And that really, if we look at this one, minute hand pointing to the 12, the hour hand pointing to the 7. That means this should be 7 o'clock, and that is the only one that could go there. And if it wasn't 7 o'clock, it means we got it wrong. Hopefully you were able to point to all the right places on that, pausing and working it out as you went along. And now we'll get ready for the next part of the lesson. Okay, now I've swapped the type of clock that we're having, so we're changing the activity. Now, in this particular activity, we are going to go through AM and PM. So what is AM and PM? Well, AM, quite simply, is the morning. PM is the afternoon, the evening, into about 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Why do we have AM and PM? Well, quite simply, look at the clock now. If I were to change that time, and change that time to one we will quickly recognize, I'm pretty sure you could all tell me what that time is. If I counted to 5 in my head, you probably all said it out loud. So off you go, say it out loud for me. Okay, now, hopefully you all would have said 2 o'clock. But when 2 o'clock? Is there any way of knowing, just by looking at that, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, which would be quite tiring, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is nearly home time. What do you think? Press pause, have a chat with someone nearby, or even just have a talk out loud as if you're talking to me. Now, I think you would have spotted quite quickly that actually there isn't any real way at the moment of knowing which one is which. So what can we do? Well, someone rather handily came up with AM and PM. Now, if we remember that PM is the afternoon, we would now know it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You've got about an hour and 15 minutes before school would have ended. And so we're able to tell what part of the day this is using AM or PM. That's quite important, especially when you're setting alarms for work. And if you need to be in at 9 AM, then you need to set an alarm for much earlier than that. Otherwise, if you set it for perhaps 8 PM, then you're going to arrive at work quite late, quite frequently. So that's why it's important to understand and know the difference between the two. So what do I want you to do? Well, I want you to write down some times. I'm going to put them on the clock face here, and then I want you to write down the times. So how do I want you to write them down? Well, I want you to write them down like a digital time today, like this. So if I was to write 2 o'clock, instead of writing 2 o'clock as you have been, then I want you to write it like this, 2.00, and then put PM if it's in the afternoon. Of course, if I'm saying to you it's 2 o'clock in the morning, well then I would simply want you to see written 2 o'clock in the morning like this. 2.00 AM instead. If you feel like you need to have a quick practice of writing that down, have a quick practice now and press pause whilst you do it. If not, let's continue and see if we can get this right. So, let's move my piece of paper over so we don't get an early warning. And let's have a look at what we have here. I'm going to add on 1 hour. Now we have a new time and it's 3 o'clock. And I'm going to say it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So how would you write that down? Would it be 3.00 PM or 3.00 AM? Which one would it be? Have a think, write down what you think your answer is, and then we'll have a look. So if I was looking at this being 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then what we'd be looking at is using PM, and the digital time would look like this, 3 PM. Let's have a go at another one. Going to change it again. And this time we're going to go for 5 o'clock in the afternoon. What would that be as a digital time? Press pause and write that down. Okay, so if you were writing 5 in the afternoon, it would be 5 PM. And what would that look like as a digital time? It would be just like that. Let's see if we can get ready for the next one. And here we are going to go for the morning. So what time is this? And what time is this in the morning? Write it down as a digital time for me, please, using either AM or PM. Okay, that should have been your answer. 9:00 AM for 9 in the morning. Let's see if we can make these a little bit trickier. Okay, what time is this in the morning? Write it down as a digital time using AM or PM. Off you go. Press pause whilst you do it. Right, hopefully you would have written that down and your answer would look like this, 9:30 a.m. Let's get another one. And we are going to go for a little bit earlier. There's a clue. What time is this in the morning? Is it AM or PM? Write it down as a digital time. Press pause whilst you're doing it. Okay, what does that look like? And it is 7:30 a.m. Right, let's have a look at another one. What time is this in the morning? Write it down as a digital time using either AM or PM. Off you go, press pause whilst you do it. Right, the time you would have got there is 8:00 a.m. Okay, let's see if we can make this a little bit trickier. What time do we have now? It's the morning. What time do we have now? Write it down as digital using AM and PM. Press pause whilst you do it. Okay, and your answer would be 9:06 a.m. 9:06 a.m. Let's go back and choose another one. Clock spinning round. Not stopped yet, it's a bit laggy. There we go, we have a new time there, a new time. It is in the afternoon. What time do we have there? Write it down as digital using AM or PM. Right, press pause if you haven't done so, otherwise you're going to get the answer early. The answer there is 2:09 p.m. 2:09 p.m. Let's get ready for the next time. Right, it is afternoon again. What time is this? Write it down as a digital time. What time is this? Off you go. Press pause whilst you're doing it. Okay, so this time here we have got 3:24 p.m. Let's see if we can get a couple more times. Nearly there, a little bit slow. There we are. So what time do we have here? It is late evening, getting close to night time. What time do we have there? Write it down as a digital time as either AM or PM. Press pause whilst you do it. Okay, your time would be 8:26 p.m. 8:26 p.m. Okay, here is our next time in the early evening. What do you think that would be? AM or PM if it's early evening? Write it down as a digital time. Press pause whilst you do it. Right, your time would be 7:31 p.m. 7:31 p.m. Right, so here is our last time. It's just coming round to what I want, and take a careful look. This is late evening. What would this be? AM or PM? Think carefully. What would it be as a digital time? Write it down and press pause whilst you do it, otherwise you get the answer early. Okay, the answer to this one is 1 minute past 9, at 9:01 p.m. So early evening is PM. Hopefully you have felt a bit more confident about this. If you're not too sure, watch the video again, go back over, have a go. I will also post this link to this website on the particular assignment, so if you want to just sit there, play around with it, have a go, look at it, investigate it, and spend your own time and pace on this, then you can do, because sometimes that constant reinforcement, going back over, extending beyond the videos, is just what you need at this time with something like this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.